two of the youngest rising stars, not just in the Speed Chess Championship, but in the world. No blood has been drawn. If you're just tuning in, first of all, where have you been? Also, it's just a bunch of draws so far.
Lazavik changing it up, so he's going for a c4 system. We have a, whatever you classify this as, it's kind of like a Grunfeld-esque position where black plays knight to f6 and then d5, and we're going to get a ton of imbalance the whole match. This is what it looks like. Queen b3 is nice. White is going to try to push the h-pawn. Maybe, okay, pawn sacrifice variation. Oh my gosh. Yep. Prep is all over the board, Danny. Oh, my queen runs back. Black gets activity, but he's a pawn down.
I am having so much fun with this match. This is the, I think, third or fourth match I've done this year. This is the one levy that has had the most just prep by the players. That's what I'll say. Not to say the other matches haven't been great, and Amon and I were lucky enough to call two very close matches. But I haven't had a match like this yet, where both players clearly came to the table. We had that crazy Berlin in game one, and all we're seeing is just a bunch of home-cooked meals brought to the picnic. And who's got the better ingredients? Apparently, Hans, he likes this pawn sack, and he likes the light squares.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a draw. Queen a4, bishop d7, queen d1, bishop e6.
Oh, come on. No, come on. No. Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
But that's prep. I mean, wow, he goes knight d4.
Okay, but he doesn't do it. All right. Lazavik goes for the game to continue. He likes his extra pawn. By the way, white is up a pawn here, as ugly as it is backward on b2. Don't forget it, because it may matter in the long run. Okay.
It's not easy to play variations with the black pieces, especially where you go a pawn down. I mean, it's really, it takes a lot of nerves, because your position generally is compensated with things like control, space, etc. But at some point you have to make moves. And at some point one of those things will loosen like a screw. So Lazavik is going to dig out of this position and just be up a pawn, and we'll see if Hans can manage.
Well, the question is, how does Lazavik get out? I was trying to draw the queen there. Queens don't move like that, everybody. They move like this. If the queen can get to a5, the bishop can get to d2, and the b4 square becomes available. But I will point out that I agree with Levy. It's very hard to play these types of long-term compensation openings for black when you're down a pawn. But there is compensation here. I mean, black definitely has a big center, and the pressure is real. The question is, like you said, with time and wiggle room, can Hans keep that pressure, or does Denis eventually flex the extra material?
It's so trippy to watch.
I like black spot. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's just very trippy to knight d5, something like... it's very tough to watch a chess match with the eval bar, because I see e3, the computer doesn't like it. Immediately I'm looking for tactics, but I don't see any tactics. And this is what I said. This is the strategy. He's going to trade on d4. He's going to move his queen. He's going to move his bishop. And then how is Hans any better? Hans is giving away a second pawn.
Okay, but Denis doesn't want it. You can't take it. I think it was e4. Okay, I think e4, you're just running out of squares, actually. Okay, well, we can back up. Hey, guess what? We have a mouse and an analysis board, because our producer is super jiggy with it. He's ready. Queen takes a7. Let's find out. I think it was e4. Oh wait,
e4,
rook f7, and the queen is just getting like trapped.
Queen c5, rook c7, queen a6.
No, it's bishop f8.
Oh, obviously, yeah. A queen c6. Oh, duh.
I'm sorry, I don't know. That's what the line is. Okay, now I'll back to the game and get rid of the engine. But I had to have the answer. Okay, the queen is getting trapped, everybody, because that's easy chess. And there's other move orders too, but apparently you can't take the pawn.
Hans saw that in like 3 seconds. Just unbelievable. Like, just really incredible stuff. I mean, he saw that so fast.
Okay, sorry. I didn't realize there were moves ahead. All right, we're caught up.
No, but Danny, it's exactly what I said. Like, what's happening is exactly as I said. Like, your compensation in these lines with black is very, very mercurial, I think is the right word. And now white is just throw that up on the screen too. I think that's the right word. Like, now white is just going to make a couple of more moves, and there you go. He's going to be chilling and be up a pawn.
Yep. No, I'm with you. And again, that's why these long-term gambits are difficult, because objectively, computers always play them perfectly. And so the computer makes you excited to go, oh yeah, I can play this. There's compensation. But human beings don't play the perfect move every single move. And as you can see, Hans was not able to play the perfect move. Denis plays b3. Guess what? He's going to get developed. He's going to get the other rook in the game, Levy. And like, I don't even care if you find f4. I already am liking Denis's chances here.
I also just made a very embarrassing mistake. I meant to say nebulous instead of mercurial,
Nebulous.
but they both sound like.
I was just going with words you said.
Yeah,
just when I'm intimidated
you know what?
by the vocabulary.
Danny, it's the internet. You can say whatever you want. Fact checking is so 7 years ago. Okay,
I was going to say it was like tenuous. It was like it's like temporary and sensitive, like tenuous. I honestly don't even know what that word means. This could become a highly clippable show making fun of us today. That's all. We're on the way.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
all right. Who cares? 97.
This should be 2 rookie 1. This should be and White is just thrilled, cooking.
And why hasn't Denis just played it? I don't know. Although he is up on the clock, so that's one thing to observe. I am so tired of potential spam calls. I'm just gonna like leak their number like on the phone. Everybody call this number. Potential spam. Everybody call that number. Do it. It's 480-520-1472. Everybody call that number, and 480-520-1472. Because spam calling, telemarketing, data selling is out of control, and we have to fight back. Sorry.
Yeah. Join the anti-telemarketing revolution as Denis Lazavik.
Potential spam, my favorite. All right, here we go. 97. No idea why Denis Lazavik has not moved yet. Bishop b2 is both the computer's move. By the way, that's not me. No hands. That's the blue arrow. It also just makes sense, Levy. Wait a second. Is he calculating bishop takes h6, knight takes e5? Is he? He's calculating bishop takes h6, knight takes e5. Okay, he didn't do it, but that's what he was thinking about.
I don't know. Maybe he was calling the hotline. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe he was. Everybody's spamming the hotline. All right. By the way, officially, this will be the last 5-minute game before the halftime break. Remember, we start with 75 minutes of 5-1. Then we move to 50 minutes of 3-1 before 25 minutes of bullet. At about the halfway mark, depending on how the games go, we give the players a break. So we're gonna have a small break after this game, but maybe we will have our first decisive result before we get there, because Denis Lazavik, he's in control here. He's up a pawn. I'm feeling good about his chances, Levy.
Yeah, I mean, Hans is going to try to plop a knight in the middle of the board, so we're looking at bishop c4, bc, and then dropping a knight in. But look, this is the position that Denis has made his career on. He wins games like this. You give him a pawn in the opening, and he will figure it out. So Hans is going to have to really take calculated risks throughout this match. I really like Black's position, I have to say, like, despite being a pawn down. I mean, I don't know what White is supposed to do here.
I don't know either. That's a huge save for Hans to get the knight to... Ooh, rook takes c4 is a tactic. He misses it. Rook takes c4 followed by knight f3. He's missed 2 knight discoveries today.
Hans Niemann and Denis Lazavik have blundered 2 knight discovered checks. Rook c4, pawn takes, knight f3, won the game. What?
Yep. The same type of idea. Although, remember, White is up a pawn, so probably not over if you play rook takes c4, but yeah, both games, if you missed it earlier, there was a similar tactic where Hans was winning on the spot. So, for whatever reason, knight discoveries are not on the agenda so far halfway through the 5-minute portion.
Now, Denis got a free move with his rook, and Hans broke the dark square blockade. So, wait.
Yeah, but okay, sorry, like, you're still up a... Yeah, you're still up a pawn.
Takes pawn? And then pawn takes...
Isn't the knight just hanging? Why is... Okay, he does do it. I was going to say, like, what is going on here?
Just take the next pawn. I don't understand. Or queen d3 first. Like, this just feels like it's immediately going to fall apart. What?
Yeah, the knight is pinned. Black is running out of... Although if you take the next pawn, you can take with the queen, because the rook and bishop are the right pieces to guard the knight. So maybe there's something more here for White if the eval bar thinks it's... How do you gang up on the knight? Okay, queen d3. Curious what it was.
Dennis is shaking his head. He's shaking his head. He's actually beside himself. He can't figure out where the crack in the position was.
I think that white missed a tactic with e5, because if the rook took, you lose the knight, and if the queen took, there was rook e1. Okay, doesn't matter. At this point, Denis is still better, but he shook his head like all of us because he couldn't quite solve the puzzle that Hans had laid out, and he's letting the wind slip away.
To be fair, Hans Niemann's position is still in total disarray. 3 pawn islands. You don't have the bishop. Well, now you do have the bishop. So white is going to try to grind this down in an opposite colored bishop style. If your name is Magnus Carlsen, I'm taking white here, but I don't know. Yeah, rook e5 is clean, and the king's getting off the back rank. And wow, Danny, these are the 4 least boring draws I think I've ever seen. If we get a draw here,
I agree. I think we most likely will get a draw, and we will be deadlocked at 2 games apiece, headed to the halfway point again, barring any crazy blunders. But both sides have had their chances, right? We could probably go back and go, well, Hans actually had more chances than Denis if we think about those knight discoveries that he missed. At the same time, this was probably the cleanest game, Levy, that anybody had, meaning Denis was really in control of this one and let it slip. So at this point, we do indeed have the first 4 games in the books. The players have agreed to a draw. I didn't even see the pop-up, but it did happen. Okay, the game is drawn, and we are headed to a break as the players are informed. A lot of medals there behind Denis, by the way. He's got a collection going.